Yeah, and I can probably turn up the difficulty too, so I can get even more.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's such a cool optimization. So does that mean speedruns would just turn it on like absolute max right away?
I guess anything that's not, well, a lot of the sliders definitely harm your DPS. Obviously, the HP one is out of the question, but the one that also increases the enemy's resistance to being staggered, that's bad too for like speedruns. So I don't know. They could turn on the one that makes enemies attack more, but I think even that would be pretty bad.
I'm just thinking in terms of a speed category being like...
you definitely do more damage at higher levels, but I don't think it is like a huge difference.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe turn it really high.
Oh, by the way, this red water is blight infused, so I will be damaged if I land into it.
Maybe turn it really high for like a little power level and then turn it the whole way down. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't obviously know this game very well.
But this would be bad. They could definitely turn this one on all the way. That would increase it by quite a bit, actually. But this one would be bad, this one would be bad, this one would be bad.
So pretty much just turn that up.
Yeah, but let's see. If you had everything on... But they would probably definitely do this, like... And then this, and then...
1.6.
So it's 1.19. That's pretty good.
I mean, it's better than 1, and I feel like it would be quicker. That's probably what they do.
Yeah, they definitely turn... If it's even allowed, I have no idea.
Oh, true. Yeah, the category might not even allow it. What the beep? You're supposed to get past that.
If they do it faster, you can get past it, but... The goal, or the key to this boss is standing immediately behind him, because he'll do that attack where he does this, and then that's super easy to get away from. But all the other attacks are annoying.
No, not roller giant orb.
If you do this boss, like, not in that way, it's pretty annoying, but yeah, it's definitely made it look like a joke. And this is the boss that gives us the gun dude upgrade item.
Do you have to beat every boss in this game?
The objective of the lower sanctum is to restore the elevator that goes to the upper sanctum, and we have to like basically do everything to do that.
Okay.
So we have to save this guy, and then we meet the chief tuner who goes back to the town to help with that as well.
I see.
But in terms of fighting every boss, I definitely know that there's a couple optional bosses, but I would say you probably have to fight like 90% of them to get the true ending.
No, that's fair, and that's kind of how you want to have it. I don't know, just being able to breeze through and just do a couple bosses. I guess it is kind of like Symphony of the Night, where you could, and you just get a not good ending.
New model core, give me that.
Dude, the guy on the left is the coolest looking one.
There's other attacks, like Nola can get this scythe and then like a slow but powerful axe. I just do not like them at all compared to just the regular sword. And this dude can get like an ice attack, which is like moderately helpful, but this does way more break damage, and then also makes them do like continual damage after that. And I just find it a lot better. And like everything that's not the gun is like, this is like way worse. And this one's like close range, but you can't like actually use the pressure ability when you're like regular attacking. So this one's like useless too. But this one's like triple S, like probably the best ability in the game. But when we upgraded it, not only does he shoot faster, but now it does more damage and more stagger. And this is at upgrade number 1.
Wow.
Alright, so let's finish up this.
Gotta love the poison water trope.
Yeah, and there's a... So in Ender Lilies, there was a specific item that reduced blighted water damage, and you needed it to get to like later areas. So this entire game, I was like waiting for them to like, oh, here's your blight resistance mask thing. That's exactly the same from Lily, but you never get it, and I was like stuck for a while because it's just like, do I actually go in this water? And it's like, yep, you do. So if you play the first game, it's like, it's not super obvious, and like it's actually counterintuitive to do it, because like in the original game, it's like, don't do that. I didn't get stuck other than just that of being like, what do I do now? Like, I need like a blight resistance item. It's like, nope, it doesn't exist in this game. Just go in the water.
That's cool. They changed it up a little bit.
Yeah. And in fact, like the first half of this game is like they give you like the same exact abilities from Lily. So I was like, wow, they're really just like, they have a formula, they're just doing it. But no, they give you some cooler stuff for sure later. Although the abilities are cool, it's just like they reused it from the first game.
So the Switch 2 is...
I was literally about to be like, do you want to talk about the Switch 2?
Is 5 weeks away? 6 weeks away? And man, I gotta tell you, this is just my opinion. I don't think the hype is really hype.
It's too expensive. I think Nintendo has really shot themselves in the foot.
I was talking to a customer the other day, and I think this is true. I don't remember a time, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, where a system came out and the initial reveal or the initial hype was like mid to negative, and it ended up doing amazing. For instance, recently, the Xbox One had a lot of negative press.
I guess the one that is different from that is the PS3. Everyone mocked the PS3 reveal, but that one like fixed itself by the end.
It's true. But it did take like...
It took a long time, and Sony had to work really hard at it.
Maybe 10 years.
But that is one that they did fix. But everyone made fun of Giant Enemy Crab and Riz Racer.
And $5.99 US dollars.
It's actually amazing that Sony... But like... At the same time, they were coming off the generation of the most popular console of all time.
And the PS2 was still selling really well.
Yeah. So it's not like they killed themselves like the Xbox One reveal.
Right.
Which, like, people were already, like, annoyed at Microsoft pivoting to, like, casual Kinect stuff and, like, making all their series, like, really boring.
Just think of all the systems that ended up selling incredibly well. PS1, PS2, Switch, Wii. They had a lot of hype when they first came out, and people were really excited and really just focused. And that is not the general sentiment I'm getting from people. The general sentiment I'm getting from people is, the biggest one is it's too expensive, and the games are too expensive, and I think I cannot disagree with that. And the second thing is just that it doesn't seem like different enough. They're like, okay, because like, going from the Wii to the Wii U was not a great system by any means, but at least it was like, oh, this has a tablet, and it's in HD now, and whatever. And then obviously the Wii U to the Switch was a huge difference. Switch to Switch 2 is just like Switch, but better. And besides the DS to the 3DS, I can't think of any consoles that they did that to. Usually their consoles from one to the other really reinvented it, for better or worse. Like, I'm not a big fan of the N64, but at least it's different enough from the SNES that it's, like, very obvious. And, I don't know, I just don't feel the hype. I don't think Nintendo has officially started, pre-orders yet. At least that I've seen.
Yeah, they're waiting for this,
But
this tariff stuff to blow over.
They're still like, it's still coming out in June, and it's like, that's very interesting. Because even if they're not going to announce the pre-orders until after Easter, and after Easter you get to like, what is it, the 21st or 22nd of April, at that point you have literally 5 weeks left to go. I don't know. I don't foresee it doing... It's Nintendo, so it's not gonna, like, gigaflop. But they would have to come out with some really bomb games and honestly kind of have to be like, psych, Mario Kart's actually 70, it's not 80, lol, got you. For it to do well at this point, because... Man, it's different. At the very least, when a PS5 game comes out for 70, you know that it's going to be $30 in like 6 to 12 months. But when Nintendo says Mario Kart's 80, it's going to be 80 for 10 years.
Yep. Yeah, that's the worst thing. Like, at first I was sort of justifying it being like, well, they're trying to just sell the bundle that comes with it because they're probably trying to pivot to digital, get people used to that. But now it's like, anyone that doesn't buy the Mario Kart bundle, that's probably just going to be like the launch thing. It's like, well, the game's $80 for the next 10 years. Have fun.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know. And it's all about, it really is all about the initial hype, because even the Xbox 360 had a lot of hype, initial hype, and they fumbled the heck out of it with the Red Ring of Death and all that stuff. And it still did really well, all things considered. The only reason they ended up selling less consoles worldwide than the PS3 is because they focused so damn much on the Kinect once, like, 2009, 2010 rolled around.
Yeah. And that's why, like, going into the Xbox One, like, people were not happy with Xbox.
If they still would have been, like, video games, people would have been like, alright, Xbox got it. But even with the 360 when they were like, no, Kinect's the future, Kinect's the only thing. People were kind of out at that point.
It's just so weird. Like, I know that, like, Sony also was like, well, maybe we can get Wii money too with the PlayStation Move. But they didn't, like, pivot as hard.
Yeah, they didn't put everything into it. They were like, PlayStation Move, you can use it if you want. But I'm worried because I want all companies to do well. I really dislike everything Xbox does, but even then, I want them to do well because having more options is better for people. So I don't... Not that Nintendo's gonna fail and not become a company if the Switch 2 doesn't do well. Like, that's silly. But I want them to have another gangbusters kind of thing, you know? It's better for the industry, it's better for everyone.
Yep. But it just seems like every single generation that they have a hit in their hands, they just fumble really hard. And we'll see what happens with the Switch 2. But obviously, they have more goodwill because the Switch was generally pretty good. But it definitely seems like they're getting, like, cocky.
I think the biggest thing is... yes, Nintendo's always going to have the Nintendo fans, the real hardcore Nintendo drones that'll buy anything they ever come out with, but the reason that the Switch sold so well is because of kids and teens and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I brought that up to Spencer. Like, parents, like, impulse buying a Switch at $450 or $500 for the Mario Kart bundle, it's not going to happen anymore. Because
Ferris is still rough with his stuff. If he was like, can I have a Switch 2? I'd be like, hell to the no. Like, we own a PS5 as a family, but that's a console. It doesn't get used in the same way handhelds get used. Handhelds just get beaten up quicker. Because if I have to replace a controller, it's $70. If I have to replace an entire Switch 2, way more than that.
Yeah.
And it's literally going to be we have Switch at home. Like, literally, like, when kids are like, I want Switch 2, the parents will be like, We have Switch at home.
The other big thing is that Doug Bowser literally pulled a Don Matrick. That was the previous Xbox head who did all the Xbox One garbage. And he was like, you know, if you can't afford a Switch 2, just buy a Switch 1. It's like, great. Thank you, Charisma Void.
Oh, you mean when Don Matrick was like... When they were like...
Yeah, it's like, we have a product for people that don't want to go online with Xbox One. It's called Xbox 360. It's like, wow. Wow. Alright.
Man, I want to be put in charge of a multi-billion-dollar industry company and just completely tear it to the ground and still somehow keep getting paid. Why can't I?
And the crazy thing about like Nintendo of America is that they do literally nothing. They don't make any of the consoles. They don't make any games. All they do is like they just exist for American sales and PR and like localized games, which also Nintendo of Europe does sometimes too. And it's like, come on, just why can't you do the right thing, you absolute morons? All right. Yeah, let's just.
I mean, what does Phil Spencer get paid a year at Xbox? Like $20 million?
Probably.
Okay, listen, Xbox. You guys are hearing here first. I will take Phil Spencer's job for $5 million.
Yeah, I would too. What the crap does he do anyway?
Listen, if you don't want to pay him $20 million, you can say $15 million. All right. $5 million annually, that is like a saving of 75%, you know? And I can do just as much as he's doing. I could do it right here sitting on this chair. In fact, I'm doing it right now. So, hire me, Xbox. Thanks. Or Nintendo, hire me. And when they're like, we think Mario Kart should be 80, I'll just be like, no.
No.
And they'll be like, but come on. And I'll go, no.
Come on.
No. They'll say, that was a good Family Guy reference. And they'll say, so I'll go to them and I'll go, I think Mario Kart should be $70. And they'll go, elaborate on that, please. And I'll go, no. David Lynch, R.I.P. the Nintendo head. And they'll be like, but 10 extra shekels, 10 extra dollars. And I'll go, here's the thing. If you charge 10 less dollars, you'll sell 10%, you'll sell 20% more of them. It's like economics. It's free real estate. And then I'd be like, give your workers a day off once in a while, and they'll go, disrespectful.
Nintendo is pretty hardcore about workers. Like, they do not like overtime.
Oh, well, that's good at least.
Yeah, so they're pretty kind of now.
But maybe I have to go to Rockstar then and be like,
yeah, Rockstar.
Do people have to pee in bottles? And they'll go, well, yeah. GTA 6 has to come out. Come on.
Whoops. Good start. Let's just restart.
King of the garbage heap. That's me.
Yeah, apparently Red Dead 2, I mean, you just look at it and it's like, how much did they abuse their employees to get the game to look like that? And it's like, the answer is 18 months of crunch.
It's called Captain Crunch for a reason, baby. For some reason that game's been popular again. I don't know why. I guess people are going back to revisit it. I don't know if they came out with like a big DLC or whatever, but people are asking about it all the time.
Because no one else is like willing to make a product like that. Just absolutely insane. Like, make one game every 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually crazy that Rockstar could do that, but they are like, I guess like Cone by Take-Two, who like Take-Two makes like yearly like sports slops so they can like pad out their every animal
quarterly quarterly reports. Yeah, I miss when Rockstar made other games. I'm not even a big fan of Manhunt, but like the idea of Manhunt and all that. Rockstar Table Tennis, just make the Warriors, just making other games.
GTA Online definitely changed them forever.
Oh. Well, this guy doesn't have a breaker or whatever.
Yeah, some bosses, mostly mechanical bosses, it seems like, don't have stagger bars.
I think this was the first boss that had like multiple forms, or at the very least the most.
The wing homunculus, our gun guy, had 2 forms. Too.
Okay.
But yeah, it doesn't happen like super often.
Heh. Tune
that ball.
Ching. Ooh, we got some story.
So people know what's happening. Gilroy is the main antagonist of this game. Although he's definitely not the most evil person, but the people that are worse are either sub-bosses or dead already. Declan is the head of the other house that I can't remember the name of, and he's the one behind all the homunculi. In fact, this flashback is like implying that they took like one of the kids of that house and turned him into this little spider homunculus for reasons.
No, little kid!
Declan is definitely like the most cartoonishly evil character, and he's still alive in quotes in this game. We do fight him, but you'll see like what he has become. House Milius, there we go. I was thinking Sirius, I don't know why.
Ye. That's all he says is just ye. My name. Come to Butthead.
So this is a cool ability. It's like a grapple hook.
Oh, that's neat.
Now it is context sensitive. It can only be used in like it has to be like a grapple point in the map.
Yeah. Ooh, that's cool. It really is like a spider.
How did you get here, dude? How? The power of NPC magic.
Well, it's just like in the Castlevania games when like a non-combat guy is like past a boss room and you're like, what?
And he like, yeah,
they're like, hey Simon, and you're like, what the F? How did you get past this boss?
Especially the most iconic is probably from like Symphony of Night. Anything that like Marie is, like you find her in like the center of the castle where you need those 2 rune rings to open up the thing, and then she's just down there. It's like, how?
Right.
How are you down here?
Right. The literal power of NPCs.
Right, I guess cultist part. I don't know how long it's been, but I pretty much did everything I wanted to.
Let's go. Ooh, we got new stuff.
Yeah, we can finally. When you complete an area, it turns blue, so we can finally do that. So. Ooh, and this one's good too.
Delicious.
In fact, doing that area first opens up this scrap relic refinery, which lets us improve our relics that we like. It does cost a lot of scrap, but we get a lot more scrap as the game goes on. So that's nice.
Get more scrap now. Alright, boys and ghouls. We'll see you next time, where we will fight more homunculi and do other things and explore.
Probably meet the Chief of Tuner.
Let's go. See you next time, and bye-bye.